The reality of our lives as Christians, as believers, is that we are going to face persecution, we're going to face hard times, tribulation, things that are difficult. In essence, we are going to face adversity. We do not face these things and deal with them just because or for no reason. It is because we represent the very heart and the nature of God, and this world is contrary to that. We can read in the scriptures where it says that the flesh and the spirit are enmity with one another. They are opposites. They don't mesh and meld, which is one of the reasons that we can't just take a relationship with God or with Jesus and then just incorporate it into our lives. It doesn't work. We don't make Jesus part of our lives. He becomes our life and changes and transforms us. In Romans 12, he tells us that we are transformed by the renewing of our minds. We have to learn to think differently, and we think in accordance and in alignment with the truth, with the Word of God. Last time we looked at Philippians 4, verses 8 and 9, which he said, think on these things, meditate on this, which was truth, which is that which is just and good and lovely, the very word, nature, and character of God. And we learn that we give thanks according to that which he has said, which is true. We find truth in his revelation, not in how I'm experiencing and how I'm feeling things. So today I want us to look at Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 and 11. We're going to read those and talk about how this applies with what we've just talked about. It says, finally, my brothers, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles, the tactics, the schemes of the devil. Strength is not my own. I don't make myself strong. He makes me strong. So he tells me here to be strong in the power of his might. So I am giving up my own control, my own endeavors to be the strong one, to try to make things okay, because it doesn't work. How do I know that? Because I've tried. I've tried, and it doesn't work. But I have the invitation from him to experience strength, to experience his might. Now that should tie and correlate with what we read in Colossians 1 a few weeks ago. There is a strength that we have in him. In fact, me in him, he in me, able to overcome and withstand whatever. He tells us in this to put on the whole armor of God. Now, we could go through those verses and talk about the armor of God, and in the future, we probably will. I invite you to read on ahead and read those, read what is in there, and understand and see that the whole armor of God revolves around faith, revolves around believing what he has declared and revealed. From salvation, righteousness, all of it, everything requires me to believe. So if my being strong in the Lord is connected to putting on this armor, it requires that I believe, that I walk in faith. And faith, we can just reduce it to the moment, in this moment, as believing what he says, no matter what actually comes against it. And when I stand in this and I have this strength that is of him, because I see according to the way he sees, and I'm thinking as he is thinking, I put on this armor in preparation for the adversities that are going to come, so that I will, as we read before, in no way be terrified by my adversaries. Why? Because I'm strong in his might. I have prepared myself by putting on the armor of God, and I'm going to say that there's a lot of giving of thanks that's necessary in that as I interact with him in his word and I come to know his will, his heart, his desires, and I live those as true, not how it seems and feels. Now I'm going to be talking about this sort of thing over and over again because Being a believer means that I take on a perspective which is changed and is different. And when I do, I see and I understand my experiences and my situation differently than when I don't have that perspective. So to be strong in the might of God, in God's might, putting on that armor that I can stand against the enemy's tactics is a preparation thing. It's something I do ahead of time and that I continually do. Just like the increasing in the knowledge of the Lord, this is an increasing, growing thing as I draw closer to Him and I live in the context of what He says and who He is.